I'm so motor, I'm so motor, I'm so motor, I'm so motor. Beat it, beat it, beat it. Yeah. Shout out to my haters. Yeah, I know you see me. Hating is a no-no. Thank God for the mogo, mogo. I'm so motor, I'm so motor.
Hello YouTube. I thought I'll take you with me on just a little cooking journey. I have kind of all my stuff ready to go. I'm defrosting my chicken a little bit. I have some Foster Farms tenderloins. I'm going to defrost them for a little bit, and then I'm going to just prep them, get them kind of situated, do a little lime situation here. Get that on some of that chicken, let that sit for a while. I already cooked some blue ribbon parboiled rice yesterday, and I put some cream of chicken in it to give it a little bit of flavor. I have my cabbage right here, which, ooh, nice cabbage. I'm going to take off that first layer because I don't know what it's been through. We'll just throw this to the side. So I am going to take off this first layer. And I'm going to cut it and then wash it. And I'm going to boil my cabbage in this really nice pot. And I'm going to use a half, probably like 2 tablespoons of margarine to start. I don't have any butter, so I will be using margarine. So I'm going to cut this up into small pieces so that it can cook a little faster. Now, we will be eating this for dinner tonight. I'm just going ahead and kind of preparing it early. And then later today, I will show you a finished product. So we'll save and kind of, you know, do some editing too. But this is how I'm going to start the cut. Then I'm going to rinse this off when it's small like this. Just so. To make sure. And I think I'm going to cut into a few smaller pieces. And drop it into my pot. Now, when I cook the cabbage, I literally put like maybe 1/3 cup of water, maybe a little more, maybe 1/4. It depends. I like to break it up to make sure it cooks evenly. Those pieces I really don't like, so I don't really put them in. I don't even know if they're edible, but I don't like them. I don't like the way they feel. So we'll go ahead and show you what it looks like once I'm finished cutting. So we'll stop here and I'll show you when I'm done. As you can see, I basically use a whole head of cabbage. What I'm going to do is get the 1/3 cup. I may do 2 1/3 cups of water to give it something to steam with, since I did use the whole head of cabbage. I hope I didn't use too much, but I don't think I did. So I'll use the 1/3 cup of water. And I know this is kind of a no-no, but it is what it is for today. I'm going to use the Imperial margarine. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons to start. And then once it kind of melts down, once the cabbage cooks down a little, then I'll add some more. I'll put some pepper to start. And then also a little bit of salt. While it cooks down, it'll cook with those seasonings. I'll put it over like a medium heat. And put the top on and let this cook before I come back to it. And I'll show you when I go back to it how I add a little more butter and a little more seasoning. Now, let's get, like I said, I'm going to prepare this chicken. So, we're going to go ahead and get this situated. So I am going to rinse it off. I'm just playing. I'm going to rinse off the chicken and then just allow it to sit for a little while in some water, because I have my chicken washed and it looks like this was a war chicken, but it really wasn't. It just looks that way. I'm going to go ahead and cut this fresh lime and just squeeze it over. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm going to squeeze it over the chicken. And it'll be some really zesty chicken. So this chicken is washed. This is just the way it defrosted. So we'll let that sit for a while before I'm going to cover it. We're going to let that sit for a while before I start. You can see the cabbage has withered down a lot. That whole head of cabbage is basically like 1 day's worth of meal, depending on how much we get. So what I'm going to do now is add another, I'll say 2 tablespoons of margarine. And I put it down, I cut the heat down a little lower. I'm not going to season it anymore because it was seasoned pretty well. So I'm going to put that in there. And I cut the heat down low. I'm going to stir it just a little bit. And we'll let that cook another 15 to 20 minutes. I have it on really low. So now we'll go over here to marinating in the lime juices. I'm going to go ahead and put that over here. Put this out of the way. And this is going to be baked chicken. So what I have, I love Lawry's seasoning salt on basically everything. But I bought this Creole seasoning because I love like Louisiana type seasoning. I love the spices that are in it. And Creole seasoning is like Louisiana's at its finest. So I went ahead and bought this from Vaughn's. I did use this on my salmon that I made, and it was pretty good. And then I tried it on chicken, and my kids just love the chicken. They just wanted to keep eating and eating. So I'm going to go ahead. We still have the lemon on there. I mean the lime, I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and season that pretty nicely. You know what I'm going to do? You know, touching stuff, different things, I'm going to put on some gloves. Now I'm going to use some of this chipotle just to give it a little bit of spice. I'm also going to use some black pepper. Black pepper, if you didn't know, spices things up. You put just the right amount and a tiny. I'm going to actually do the salt like this because I don't want to accidentally sprinkle too much. So I'm going to use a tiny bit of salt. Excuse me, turn my head on that one. I'm going to use a little bit of onion powder. That looks nice and seasoned. Thing is, when it goes in the oven and the water is absorbed, it kind of loses some of that. And then we're just going to mix this up. I did forget to prep my oven. My oven has a timer on it, which is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and season that. It smells delicious. I wish YouTube had a smell camera. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like that just to bake up some chicken. I don't have any green onions, or I do have white onions, but I don't really want to cut those up, so I'm not going to. So here we go here. That's all nice and seasoned. We're going to go ahead and preheat this oven to 350 degrees. Once it's ready, I'll pop this in the oven for a good 45 to 50 minutes, and voila. Here is the finished product. We have some baked chicken, some cabbage, and some rice. And then I have a little barbecue sauce that I got from one of the fast food places that I had. So that's the finished product. This is only about 2.5 ounces of chicken. That's 1 cup of rice, and that's 1 cup of cabbage. Sweet. So now I'm just gonna do this late night snack, show you what I'm gonna have before I go to bed. What you thought? It's time to feed these muscles. What? I'm gonna have some iron as a snack. I'm serious about these gains. Yes! Tonight is me and some 10-pound dumbbells. Eat up. Last stop on the at the transformation station, Gainesville. Good night.